often think of 8-week-old puppies as a blank slate. After all, puppies are blind for the first 2 weeks, deaf for the first 3, and confined to the home and yard of their breeding home for that whole 8-week period. In reality, the period between birth and 8 weeks, and especially 3 and 8 weeks, are periods of rapid cognitive, social, and physical development. By 14 weeks of age, 90% of the puppy's brain development is complete. The period between 3 and 16 weeks is called the socialization period. This is a phase of rapid learning. Puppies learn in as little as a single event or exposure. The period before 8 weeks is also characterized by low fear, meaning that we have an unparalleled opportunity to have the puppy form an extensive reference library of positive experiences to refer back to throughout its life. Newborn puppies don't look as though they do much. They drag themselves around the whelping box on their bellies, searching for mum or the warmth of the puppy pile. For the first 10 days, they cannot void on their own. But if you watch the sleeping pile of puppies, you will notice them twitching in their sleep. This activated sleep is the puppy's neurological and muscular systems firing, making the neural connections and muscle development that will soon allow puppies to stand. Our initial handling of the puppies centers around monitoring their health through once to twice daily weigh-ins for the first 2 weeks. Handling at this age happens at the mom's level to reduce her stress. From 2 through 8 weeks, puppies are weighed weekly. Handling of the puppies begins at 3 days of age. Early neural stimulation, or ENS, are a series of exercises developed by the US military to produce dogs who are more resilient in stressful situations. ENS is done once daily per puppy between 3 and 16 days of age. The puppy is put through 5 handling exercises lasting 5 seconds apiece, head up, head down, on their back, their toes are tickled with a Q-tip, and they are placed on a cool surface. This stimulates areas of the brain, such as those controlling the cardiovascular and endocrine systems, causing them to activate earlier. Anecdotally, we frequently receive reports from vets that our dogs have low heart rates and smaller adrenal glands compared to the average dog population. For the dog's own comfort and for the safety of the community, it is essential that PADS dogs are comfortable with all forms of body handling, including restraint. Formal body handling begins at 1 week, with daily gentle massage sessions to create positive conditioned emotional responses. Before the onset of the first fear response around 5 weeks old, we want to start to create positive associations with things the dog might otherwise find objectionable, including body handling, nail trimming, toothbrushing, being in a bathtub or on an elevated area, and giving up resources. This type of conditioning is most effective up until 12 to 16 weeks, after which time different approaches are needed if the dog is showing fear, conflict, or potential aggression in these areas. Note how the puppies in these videos are happy to be handled and expectantly looking for their treats at each step. Through careful, structured work in the breeder-caretaker home, we can set a puppy up not only to accept, but to enjoy body handling. Frequent positive practice from a young age makes the puppy more resilient in the face of real-life body handling, such as grooming, nail trims, blood draws, and restraint for medical procedures. This life skill will continue to be developed in the puppy raising program. Passive enrichment refers to items, sounds, and experiences the puppies are exposed to outside of structured or active work. Passive enrichment includes items placed in the weaning pen with the puppies that they can choose to interact with, as well as items and sounds outside or above the pen that form a temporary or permanent part of their environment. From birth through 6 weeks, much of the puppy's socialization comes from items or sounds they are exposed to, whereas from 6 weeks onward, experiences, or active enrichment, become more important. Passive enrichment doesn't have to be fancy. Common household items, surfaces, and sounds all have the potential to offer solid enrichment opportunities. We aim to surpass the rule of 7s, that by 7 weeks the puppy ought to have been exposed to at least 7 surfaces, locations, types of people, sounds, toys, activities, and exchanges for items that they desire. Generally, we surpass each of these targets. The key difference between passive and active enrichment is that in passive enrichment, we don't try to get a puppy to do anything specific within a situation. with active enrichment, we are actively trying to get the puppy to engage in a process using treats and physical touch to reward effort. In both cases, the puppy has a choice to add distance or not to participate. Active enrichment helps the puppy to develop working drive from a young age. Puppies at this age learn incredibly quickly through a process called distributed learning, which means that most of the actual learning occurs as the puppies sleep after a training session or experience. For this reason, we keep training sessions under 2 minutes, followed by at least a half-hour nap. We introduce operant conditioning in the form of clicker training once the puppies are able to take treats, usually between 4.5 and 5 weeks. At first, the puppy doesn't realize the clicking sound precedes the treat, but she catches on quickly to the fact that treats are coming from the handler and that she should stay engaged. We conduct our next clicker training session several days later without having rehearsed the behavior in the interim. And you can see that the puppy has already cottoned on to the fact that the click means a treat, and we have moved on to clicking her for eye contact. Besides exposing the puppies to the clicker from an early age, one study has shown that puppies who observe their mother working lead to increased working drive in the puppies. Our mums are generally getting bored by the time the puppies hit 6 weeks old, so doing training with the mum at this time serves two purposes. It alleviates boredom for mum, and the puppy's working drive benefits. At 6 weeks, a group of PAD staff and volunteers visits the breeder-caretakers home for a puppy party. Puppies are worked on 3 different obstacles for 2 minutes apiece, put down for a nap, and then worked through 3 slightly harder obstacles. It is less important that the puppies complete the obstacles than that they have a positive working experience. The puppy party helps the puppies learn how to learn and how to work with new people, and gives the breeding program staff an idea of how the puppies are doing and where individual puppies may benefit from extra work. For the remainder of the puppy's time with the breeder caretakers, they will continue working on confidence building and essential skills. Here, the puppy is working on body awareness, a skill that is developed or lost at this early age. Training sessions at this age will always focus on safety and not frightening a puppy, as single event learning can be a double-edged sword. The puppy can just as easily learn something is frightening or painful if things aren't handled properly. Crate training is one of the skills that breeder caretakers work on that is most evident to puppy raisers when they take their puppies home. Starting at 4 weeks, there is always at least one kennel with an open door in the weaning pen. Soft bedding is provided only in the kennels to encourage puppies to seek those out to sleep in. Shortly thereafter, puppies start spending time in the kennels with the door closed, first in pairs and then singly. This training is done when the puppies are already tired. They are provided with chew toys and a bed and are fed treats for quiet behavior. At 4 weeks, puppies spend 3 minutes in a training session in a kennel. This is increased by 5 minutes per training session, so that by the end of the first week of training, puppies are spending 15 minutes in the kennel every other day. By 7 weeks, the puppies spend an hour a day in their kennels. This early kennel training makes the transition to the puppy raising home easier. The puppy has a familiar routine, and most puppies sleep 5 to 6 hours in their kennel the first night in their new home, go out to toilet, and go back to sleep in their kennel. Manding is a term used in the treatment of autism and means giving your learner a non-verbal way to ask for something. In our puppy's case, the breeder caretakers teach them that sitting is the polite way to ask for resources such as attention or treats. If you think of a puppy jumping up on someone as demanding, manding is its antonym. It's the puppy version of please. Having a good recall is essential for training and safety. The beginning of a strong recall is the puppy call. From weaning onwards, breeder caretakers call puppy, puppy, puppy in a high-pitched voice before they feed the puppies. This is later practiced outside of meal times in progressively more distracting environments, and treats are substituted for meals as the reward. Puppies hit a number of developmental milestones before going to puppy raisers. The disinclination toward resource guarding, a dog feeling the need to guard food, toys, its body, or other resources, can be most strongly influenced at 6 and 7 weeks. During this time, breeder caretakers do focused work teaching the puppies that giving up resources means they will be given an even better treat as a bonus than have their item returned. The puppies don't have to show guarding behavior for the training to be effective. In fact, we aim to make each exchange pleasant and beneficial for the puppy. Another developmental deadline that is reached early is the tendency to develop car sickness. Research suggests that exposure to short car rides, just 2 5-minute drives, at 6 weeks decreases the chance a dog will suffer motion sickness. Opportunity to expose the puppies to other dogs is limited while they are with the breeder caretaker due to the risk of disease. Only dogs within the breeder caretaker's home can be used to shape the puppy's views on other dogs at this point in their lives, and it is essential to ensure those interactions, including with their mom, are positive. It is better to observe other dogs at a distance if the interaction is unlikely to be positive. Adult dogs should be tolerant of puppies up to a point and employ gentle measures such as getting up and moving away, freezing, or picking up a toy to diffuse the situation when a puppy gets too rough and rambunctious. Dogs who are good puppy socializers are worth their weight in gold and help the puppy develop appropriate dog-dog socialization skills. We hope this video has given you a good appreciation of all of the hard work the breeder caretakers put in behind the scenes to ensure that puppies are well prepared for the world in front of them.